Eh les garçons, là on est dans la course encore. Regarde championnat. Les premiers ex-aequo les gars. Bon maintenant, la prochaine manche elle est à nous. La même que celle-là. Yes les gars. Allez, yes les gars. Allez, 1, 2, 3,
In 2016, we lost 3 of our pillar players, Loïc Voulot, Kevin Kulm, and Frank Chambon. When we lost those guys, we had to take a decision. It was like doing like the other teams, just picking some American players and guesting the team, or trying to bet on the future and saying, okay, we're gonna take some kids and let's make a bet that we are able to teach them and to bring some kids to become some good player and continue the adventure of TonTon, you know, because we were thinking, saying, okay, if we take like American or guest player, they won't like having this dedication for the TonTon. They would be just guest player, even if they love the guys, they like the team, they like the other player. It's just like guests, you know. So having player that you grow in the team, you teach him. They learn about how to play, how is the TonTon spirit, and it was like a bet for the future, saying, okay, if we give this passion and transmit the passion that we had and dedicate to the team, to the TonTon team, and we can manage to give them, it will be a future for TonTon as well, you know. So that was the main thing. So in 2017, we decided to pick up some kids after a tryout.
Plastic words and printed trees. Air is dull with dim beliefs.
It's funny because the player we have in the team right now, we've been looking at them for a few years now, since pretty much 2014, I would say, 2015. I mean, we already had our eyes on them. Just like we had to let them play in their team to reach their, to just let them be them. I think the funniest part of the tryout was Pierre coming in with a broken hand and a sponge on his hand to just to show up and play at the tryout. He didn't have the best tryout, but the guy was so motivated. You would just think, damn, this guy wants it. He will make it, because it's not only about your skill and what you show up on the D-Day. It's pretty much also like the grit, the will, the passion, and how you will translate it into the future years. So that's what we saw, for example, in Pierre. With William, he's been living in the south of France, so we've been seeing this guy forever. Then at some point we were just like, all right, let's pick him up and make him the player he should be, because he reached a step with his divisional team. So we were like, let's pick these guys and try to unlock something into him. Let's see if there's something that clicks. We like the guy, we like his skills, and we think he would suit the team pretty good.
It felt like a dream came true, you know. If you play paintball when you are young, you really want to play with only one team. It's the TonTons, because they are the excellence of the paintball in France and in Europe and at the international. So for me, I was really excited when they called me, and I just wanted to be part of the adventure.
C'est bon? C'est bon.
So we've been looking at Hugo for a while. He's been playing since he's 12 years old. I mean, he's short and fast, so it's good for paintball. And he's the one and pretty much only kid in France and Europe that has been grinding for like the last 8 years, just grinding and grinding to make it to pro. And so he's been playing for a while in Paris with the Paris Camp Carnage. Since we picked him up, he's just improving so quick. His game, he's thinking about the game, and pretty much the whole paintball performance is just going up.
It's a lot of pressure, you know, because I'm young. My style is very close to Axel. My dream when I started paintball was to play like him, and now I realize my dream.
He has a lot to learn, and he wants to learn and become a very good player. So he has some motivation. Axel is a kind of example for him, so that's the perfect dream for him, you know, that you can play with your favorite player in the team, then you are playing the same position, and you can just like watching Axel for him, then trying to do the same thing. So it's really nice, I think, for him to join the TonTon and living the dream for him. We said the best way for them to grow them and to teach them how to play very fast at a good level is to bring them in US, because I became a good player when I start to go in US, you know, because it's totally different. So we decided to bring all the group in US playing semi-pro, giving them as much as possible experience, you know, and giving them some times to play, a lot of points. You can learn very fast. If you watch the game in US and you play, you can learn very fast.
And the intensity you get from the USA, you can bring it back to the kids. They get to see it playing in US in semi-pro, and when you get back to Europe, you also get a new way of working things and a new way of training the players into thinking of something bigger. Don't think about only the European Championship. Think about the next step, winning the World Cup, winning the whole series in US. And I think that's what we all want, we all dream about, winning World Cup, winning the whole NXL series, just winning the best thing. Every time you get to US, you bring back so much experience, so much skill, so much stories to tell, so much, just everything. You bring back everything from US. So I just feel like the intensity of the way they play, how hard they play, and how much paintball they shoot compared to Europeans. I think they do play more paintball than us. And when I say more paintball than us, I think the budget people have in US is different than the budget from European.
You know, because if you have budget, you can travel to make your practices. And I think that if we are showing our budget comparing to the American pro team budget, we will make them blush, you know. So it's like a big difference, I think. In 2 days, this weekend, just Saturday, Sunday, we didn't play so much, like 20 points per day. It's not like that big, like 30 each day. So 60 boxes, I think it's about like $33. So it makes already almost $2,000 just for 2 days practice. Plus you need to pay the entry fees and everything. I think it's about like 250 or something. 2 days, 500, so you're already 2,500. you know, it goes fast, you know, it goes fast. And this is like a money count, ding, 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 you know. So yeah, so that's the main problem.
They also have a lot of fields and a lot of teams, so you get to have good players to play against, because that's what gets you better. It's just having someone good in front of you.
Back then, I mean, the Americans team wouldn't practice us because they thought we're not good enough to practice us. They would practice each other, and so we had really nobody to play against for practices before the tournaments. I think that changed though, but it's still really hard because in Europe we don't travel that much. The TonTons can't practice Joy, or they're not going to travel all Europe to practice. So you play in your own country, and of course you don't have like dozens of, you know, high-skilled teams. So it's hard to find the good team to practice against.
Of course, Dynasty plays Impact every weekend. We don't have Impact or Dynasty every weekend. Who can we play? We're playing semi-pro teams. We would love to play Ironman every weekend. We would love to play Dynasty every weekend. We would get so much better.
When you have like sparring partner of this level, you can be like really good, you know. And the problem is that in Europe you don't have this. So you have to play against some teams which are kind of divisional 4, 5 level. So you need to be like very focused when you go to the practice and not taking this like light. You need to think about like how a pro player, if you are playing against, will make it. If for example you say, okay, I'm shooting in this window of the break, but for sure I will touch him every point, you know, because sometimes when you play divisional, they don't go out, you know, when they get hit, or they don't tell you, I get bounced or get shot, you know, it's like limit sometimes. So you need to have the experience to understand what will work or what will not work. So you need to be like, very, very professional at each practice and give 100%, not just saying, okay, we are going to practice and smash everyone. You know, so we are really working, even with some divisional teams. So it asks us a lot of concentration.
Playing in the US and coming back to Europe makes us, let's say, dominant, but it's thanks to the US, thanks to how intense it is, how hard it is to get good in US, because you have to show up in US. It's not that there's no free games, any teams can beat you. It's the same in Europe, but on a different scale. And I mean, when you've been doing it in US, it's hard to say easier, it's not the right word, but it's easier to play Europe. We're playing our game that is based on what we saw from Europe and from US, because we are not playing a US typical game. The US team would play slower than us, with more communication for sure. So we also have that European way of playing, of being aggressive, being individual skill-based. Being in both leagues gives us a great mix of players, and that's why we're successful in Europe.
We're still thinking and loving, dreaming about the idea that we could make like a complete season in US and see what we can bring on the table. But it's like a franchise and budget is different, you know.
We don't care about salaries. We just want some help with the entry fees, the paint, just what costs so much, the hotels, the renting cars. None of the TonTons ever had a salary, ever took a single penny from the account into their pocket. We all give money to the team to play at the best we can. So every single year we pretty much think like about, oh, can we do it this year? Can we do it this year? Can we do it this year? And it's been on our minds since I joined the team, pretty much. So, and I guess it was the same back in 1995 when they start to say, oh, they're playing paintball in US too. Oh, and it's a bigger scene. Let's go, let's get it. Because we want to be at just the top spot. That's where you want to be. If you're a competitor, and the TonTons are a competitor.
How do you feel the competition against the other player? Because you say you are he wants to be one of the best in the team. But how do you feel it to fight against a brother to get his spot on the field and putting him on the bench?
C'est une bonne question, ça. Je vais me faire des problèmes. I'm gonna have some problems. No, it's like in every team sports, there are the players and some players that are playing, some players that have not that much time on the field. For me, when I joined TonTon, at the beginning, and I understood why I was not playing all the games. It was normal for me, I had to learn. Now that I feel a little bit more confident in the team, I take the experience and the advices from each player so I can be better than them, so I can earn my place. Even if you are on the bench, you are part of the winning of the team, for sure. But when you play, you feel better. In my head also it was complicated because Pascal is not a tout coach, but he's not going to say you could play easily, you know. So if you do something that you think it's good, he's gonna push you to be better and better and again. So that's how you can be better and be part of the team on the field.
Well, I've also heard that the TonTons have they have an interesting way of coming up with game plans where they don't really have like a ton of set plays. I actually really appreciate the artistry of how Pascal coaches. So notice he has no clipboard. People come in, they give him some conversations, he sits there, he thinks about it for a little bit, and comes up with a game plan on the fly.
He's incredible.
My name is Pascal Auxerre. I'm the coach of the TonTons since 2009. I played with them before, like a pro player in 2006 and 2007. Maybe interesting to understand how we work with TonTon. For example, it's like a small thing, but we never work with like a book, with a tactical book. We just speak together. Never a game plan with a lot of tactic, like the first one, the number A, B, C, D, E, spider, command center, and I don't know the name of the tactical, but we only speak paintball every time. Like we are in the pool, we speak paintball, we are in the car, we speak paintball, at the dinner we speak paintball, and it's always like that. And during practice, we just set up at the table together to say, okay, what is the feeling of each player, and au départ, quand j'ai commencé à entraîner, je pensais qu'il fallait avoir un classeur et noter toutes les stratégies des joueurs. Et je passais plus de temps à regarder mon classeur et à écrire des notes qu'à regarder les joueurs. Et les joueurs passaient plus de temps à regarder le classeur qu'à écouter réellement ce qu'on disait. Au bout d'un moment, petit à petit, je me suis servi de moins en moins du classeur et même les joueurs ont compris plus facilement parce qu'on avait un échange verbal qui était beaucoup plus facile. On arrivait à détecter en regardant un joueur s'il était fatigué, s'il était en forme, s'il était en confiance. Et en fait, ça donnait beaucoup plus de poids au coaching. Et c'était beaucoup plus réaliste que d'écrire des stratégies sur le papier. Du coup, depuis maintenant plusieurs années, depuis presque toujours maintenant, on travaille sans classeur, sans tactique écrite, mais avec beaucoup d'échanges entre nous et beaucoup de feedback sur ce qui se passe sur le terrain. Et on adapte en faisant des micro-changements. Et les joueurs ont beaucoup aussi de responsabilités et d'autonomie dans leur partie. Ça nous permet d'avoir de la créativité. Et la créativité, au top niveau, c'est ce qui va faire la différence en fait, entre des robots et des artistes en fait.
World Cup, the best in the world about to throw down here as Dynasty is going to play Heat, Tampa Bay Damage, and the TonTons. Damage has won 2 events in a row here in the States. TonTons coming in very confident as they have also won 2 events in a row in the Series Championship.
C'est ce qu'on doit faire, hein. On a bien compris.
C'est maintenant, hein. C'est maintenant qu'on montre ce qu'on sait faire.
On rentre dans le tournoi maintenant, les gars. 1, 2, 3.
5-on-5 for both teams. TonTon's in the snake with Axel got in. It's going to be a good little battle of 2 of the best snake players in the world with Axel and Keith. Keith Brown is now on their side of the field, putting pressure on the last player in the Dorito.
That's a damage paintball right there, man. And they're going to go up 1-0.
Axel got in, now wrapping the 5th snake.
Oh, Keith Brown gets caught over the top.
Chad Buzier trying to get out wide, snake side, stop the bleeding.
So TonTon's going to get this one back. Double kill out of the back center for TonTon.
TonTon's on their side of the snake already. 3-on-1 advantage now for the TonTons. Only 1 player left alive.
Wow,
What a good point for the TonTons.
Battle going down on the east side here for the TonTons. Trying to preserve this 1-point lead. As the TonTons launch on the D side and they eat up the first body in the stake. He does get clipped cross field though.
1-on-1.
Turns it into a 1-on-1 situation, but then Jason gets eaten up immediately. And then now finally the concessions. Oh, TonTon player pumped up though. That's a huge win. The TonTons here are going to go up by 2. With this time ticking off the clock. Again, down by 2, got to force the issue.
2-on-3 advantage here for Tampa Bay Damage.
In these last few bodies here for the TonTons. Rainey's hunting for this last body.
Give him away.
Axel got being seized. Keith Brown goes out, reacts to it, fills out to the snake corner. Great read and react. Fighting too much.
That's going to cost the TonTons a point.
3-on-1 advantage for Tampa Bay Damage.
Tampa Bay trying to close this one quick. Just 25 seconds on the jump shot there. As Jacob Edwards dunks on the last body and Keith Brown goes in to hit that buzzer to tie things up.
Here comes your OT, baby.
Overtime.
What do you got, Matty?
3.
Damage has had a really hard road this year, and they have prevailed, and they're really good in these moments. But the TonTons really like to push and punch in these moments.
Snake on the break for the TonTons.
Damage is doubled up in the back center. The TonTons have now got out on the Dorito side. They can pinch those guys. It's tough to live in that back center with 2 dudes. Keith's playing this smart. He can just kind of sit and watch the shadows, and as soon as this TonTon player makes the 50, if he chooses to, you bet Keith will come right around and take him out.
TonTon's losing a body out of that tower, though. Keith comes around, gets him with the one-hander, and he's going to dice up Axel on the transition. Axel trying to do damage control. Keith Brown with a little 3-pack to close here. Congratulations to Tampa Bay Damage as they are going to take this victory here. And that's now 2 wins for them. Yeah, they beat Heat by 3 and then now taking the victory by 1.
They have to learn, you know. We learn. We had our times to learn, so we need to give the time to the kids to learn now. So this is their times. We are already almost in the past of the TonTon, you know. So the future is there, and they need to learn about this, to get as much as experience they can, and after to continue to take that TonTon team and TonTon spirit and to give it to the next generation as well, you know. I just want that we play good, a good paintball. We are respecting the opponent, we are respecting the fans and everything, showing our best level of paintball, and the best will win. Never mind if we lose. If they are better, that's all. But if we enjoy to play the game and we had like a good battle, I don't mind to lose, you know. I just like pissed if we play like and losing a game because this is a waste. It's not like every day that you can play like such a kind of game like this and being in this ground with such kind of tournament, you know. So yeah, just give you 100%, no regret.
Flickering thoughts break up the sight of common days I've come to live in. Purple flares followed by a humming and shimmering twilight. And colorless hovering of bees again.